everyone, my name is Adam Winter, and this is my case study video project for the fall of 2022. So here is a scenario that I chose to use. It is based on student is using something like a phone during class repeatedly. So here is the scenario. As you're standing at the front of your classroom going through today's lesson, you notice that one of your students seems to be distracted and is looking at their phone. You have already had a number of conversations with the student individually about them using their phone in your class during times of instruction. You begin to become distracted by this incident, and your other students also start to notice. This student looks at you and says, "What? I need to send a text. Geez." Your lesson begins to take a pause. So we're going to look at two ineffective reactions and two effective reactions. Ineffective reaction number one is going to be shown by this example where the teacher will begin to get into a verbal argument with the student. In both ineffective reactions, we see a high desist in terms of drawing attention to the student as a whole. The entire class becomes distracted at this point, and nothing good is going to result from either of these.
So we're talking about the different weaknesses within the. Want to put her phone up?
Trying to get a date.
Do we mind putting it up for a little bit, maybe? No, probably not.
My day.
I mean, I'm trying to do something and I can't focus because of you.
Mr. Snowball.
Are we gonna do something about it? Are we just gonna sit here? No
you know
worries.
what?
You know what? It's all good.
You know what? I'm trying to get a date on Friday.
So as you can see in this reaction, the teacher has actually gotten down to the level of the student. They've become one of the same in terms of where they rank. The teacher has engaged in a verbal altercation, and at this point, that high desist has come into play where the effect becomes more of just, rather than being student-teacher, it's now affecting multiple students within the classroom, which would result in it being ineffective.
So we're talking about the different weaknesses.
So ineffective reaction number two is going to be similar in terms of a high desist. In this example of an ineffective reaction, the teacher will aggressively take the phone from the student and then result in sending them to the office.
Still talking about the weaknesses within the articles. Is everything good? We all good? Because I'm about sick and tired of watching this. Go to the office. See you later. Have a good day. Thanks for coming.
So obviously in this reaction, not only is it ineffective in terms of just actually taking the phone from the student and beginning to become aggressive, but they also skip the steps of actually having one-on-one conferences with the student, making sure you contact parents in terms of all these things take place before sending that particular student to the office, which is again something that we mentioned in this class. So that leads us to two effective reactions. And in this first example, the teacher is going to actually walk over to the student, quietly take their phone from them without causing a big scene, and then inform them to come get it after class.
So there's 7 different weaknesses within the Articles of Confederation. You know my rule about phones. Okay, you can come get it from me at the end of the class. Okay, we'll talk about it later.
Yes, sir.
So as you notice, the teacher also, when he approaches the student, walks over and eventually says, "You know my role," as if this is something that has been discussed within prior procedures and expectations in the classroom, which again goes to kind of support successful classroom management, which is why we consider this to be an effective reaction. Effective reaction number two is similar in the fact that it is successful. The teacher in this one simply asks the student to put the phone away or stay after class, and then immediately jumps right back into the lesson.
Okay, so we're still talking about all different weaknesses that exist within the articles. Coach Raines, if you don't mind, stand for a few minutes after class. We just need Okay, so back here, bring our focus to the 7 different weaknesses.
So in this one, not much attention is drawn to the student. In both effective reactions, these seem to be low desists. There's minimal things going on in terms of the entire class becoming involved in this specific situation, and it is strictly handled between student and teacher. Again, in this one, it is right back into the lesson. Not much instructional time is missed, which would be the exact reason as to why it is effective. In conclusion, what I've learned from this project is a number of things, but mainly the fact that when you have an issue within your classroom between teacher and student, the best thing that you can do is stay in that low desist level that we've discussed in this class, drawing minimal attention to the situation as a whole, and being sure that you are in a spot as a teacher to be able to handle it effectively, and also in a respectful manner. So I think that I've learned a lot from this project, and I really hope to be able to apply this within the classroom.